Neptune, the planet of delusion, of spirituality, mysticism, has just entered into the zodiac sign of Aries. Hello, friends. This is Casey again with Aligned Astrology. Happy to have you back. Today we're talking about Neptune entering into the sign of Aries on January 27th. Now, the last time this planet, Neptune, has been in the sign Aries was 165 years ago. The planet Neptune takes 165 years to move through the entire zodiac. So that means Neptune is in a sign for roughly 13 to 15 years, give or take a few months, days, whatever the case may be, based on how it moves throughout the zodiac that year. Now, the last time Neptune was in Aries in 1861, we had the Civil War. It's and I'm going to pull the chart up a little bit later so we can look at it, but it's very interesting that on the day of April 12th to April 13th, Neptune moved from Pisces into Aries, and that was the first battle of the Civil War. It was the Battle of Fort Sumter, and that initiated the Civil War. So we can gain some understanding of what Neptune and Aries means collectively for us. Sort of like power struggles, disillusioned action, and things of that nature. But it's also important to understand that Neptune in Aries is something that affects us individually as well. We can look at our life right now and our experience. If you happen to be in America, we have a lot of different things going on here. And now I'm not a mundane astrologer, by the way. And what that means is I don't usually talk about the collective things that go on in the world, our mundane day-to-day things that we all experience together. But I'm talking about it right now just to give you an understanding of our history, our past, and how history has potential to repeat itself based on the zodiac and the planets. So right now we're dealing with a lot of challenging things in America here. People getting pulled out of their homes and things like that, and being questioned, and some people even being harmed to the point of losing their lives. And this is not good, but it is also something that seems to be stirring up the people. Seems to be causing a challenge in our communities, and some people are upset and some people want to fight back and see things differently. And everybody has their own perception, their own belief about what's wrong, what's right, and why things happen the way they do. But we can all look and see what the facts are at hand and notice that this Neptune in Aries is something that has potential to make people believe something and take action on that thing. So we'll have this planet Neptune in Aries for 13 years. So it's moved out of Pisces, which gave us a great delusion around things. We, with Neptune in Pisces, we have potential to see things and understand them as truth, but they were actually something totally different. So with Neptune in the sign of Aries, we're going to have to put one foot in front of the other and have our own lived experience here, because none of us in this collective life right now has experienced Neptune in the sign of Aries, unless you happen to be a vampire or something like that and you've lived for over 165 years. So what I want to do quickly is pull up an astrology chart so we can look and see first the transits of today. On January 27th, the planet Neptune has moved into the sign of Aries. And it's important to speak about Aries and its ruler, which is Mars. the planet Mars, which is action, it can be aggression, it can be war, and things along those lines. So Neptune has potential to take on those characteristics of Aries. Aries does not like to think. Aries likes to act first and then think later. So when Neptune comes into this space, influenced by any other planet at the current moment, it has potential to disillusion things or bring a little bit of confusion into the mix. So that way you may hear one thing and feel another thing and choose to act on those things without any logical explanation. So this is an opportunity for us to be mindful of this and come back into ourselves. Because when our emotions arise, when our thoughts tell us things that make us feel particular ways and we choose to act on them, we must understand that this is what we can call ego. And when we think about Aries taking action on impulse and drive and reaction, that is a very egoic nature. So when we think about Neptune as a planet of spirituality, we can use this as an opportunity to step away from our ego and fall back into Neptune and listen to our intuition. Now, what is intuition? It is that soft, still voice that speaks from the depths of our soul. And we've all probably experienced intuition before. It's that gentle nudge that tells you, don't go that way, or stay home today. Don't do that thing. And then when we listen to that intuition and we find out what happened at that place we're going to go, maybe someone got hurt, then we take a moment and realize that was my intuition speaking, keeping me safe. So in order for us to hear that intuition, we must learn how to be present. We must learn how to be still in the moment. So with that Neptune moving into Aries, we'll have a lot of experience over these next 13 years cultivating our intuition or learning the hard way. Because when we don't listen to our intuition, we're provided with lessons that we learn based off of the actions that we take, which is actually called karma. It is the cause and effect of our experience. That's simply all karma is. For now, we can talk about karma a little bit later in another video. But I want to also show you all another chart. We're going to look at the Battle of Fort Sumter. So if you are a history buff and you know all about history, you can understand or you can remember that the Battle of Fort Sumter began on April 12th and then it ended on April 13th. So from April 12th to the 13th, we can also see that Neptune at 0 degrees and 0 minutes had just moved into Aries, marking the beginning of the Civil War. And if we know about the Civil War, we know that at the end of the Civil War, over 500,000 troops or soldiers on both sides of the war lost their lives. So this was based off of the beliefs that they had, the internal drive that they had to make something right, based off of probably what they heard and what they thought in the mind. And it's important to notice with that Aries Neptune, Mars, the ruler, was in Gemini. And Gemini is correlated with our communication, the groups that we're a part of in our mind. So it's not a coincidence that those things happened. Now going back to our chart for today, we notice that Mars is in Aquarius. And if you've watched my last video, feel free to check it out if you didn't. We know that Mars is conjoining Pluto today as well. So Mars-Pluto conjunction calls for bringing a lot of things to surface in regards to our anger, our aggression, or our action towards things, towards a civil wellness. When we think about Aries, I mean, let's talk about Aquarius right now. When we think about Aquarius, Aquarius is the humanitarian. It wants what's best for the people. So this could mean that the people feel that urge inside themselves to stand up and do what's right or what they feel is right. And we have this stellium of planets. A stellium is when there's three or more planets in a zodiac sign. So all of these planets are under the influence of the humanitarian. So just be mindful what's going on in the outside world, but also mindful what's going on in your own experience, because the astrology is a macrocosm and we are the microcosm. So it's important to always remember that these things affect us individually and then collectively. So I'll close the chart for now. And if you're ever interested in getting a reading to understand how these different planets are affecting you individually, the link is down below. You can sign up for a reading. Please remember to subscribe and like the video if you enjoy this kind of content. It really helps the channel to grow and it supports me. Thinking about the planet Neptune in the sign of Aries gives us the opportunity to understand spirituality based off of our lived experiences, allowing any illusions to fall away, any structures can begin to break down, because this is a shift into a new era. We know that with the Civil War, things changed after that. So this is an opportunity for great change to come collectively and interpersonally for us. So I invite you to take take a few moments with yourself and sit and be and notice what feels different. Notice that stillness inside yourself that can guide you towards where you need to be, towards that person you need to be. In our next video, we'll be talking about the full moon in Leo, and that'll be all about our own confidence, our personal power, and who we really are authentically. So be sure to watch that as it comes out. Remember, like the video and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments or tell me how you've been feeling this Neptune in Aries. This is Casey with Aligned Astrology, and see you soon.